Hey guys, Gutmuncher here, and Gut plays Minecraft on the Xbox One. And the project I'm working on in my survival world is a village breeder, and I thought I would show you how it's done on the Xbox One by Gutmuncher the Zero. Um, I've watched a bunch of videos of people doing this, and this is kind of a conglomeration of different ones. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to get some villagers. We're going to put them in a cell, and then we're going to create a village above them. This is technically a village, and then the villagers will breed, and then we will catch the babies, and we will take them somewhere and do something. So to get started, I thought I'd start at the absolute beginning because I know some people have never done anything like this before, and in fact, I'd never actually done the whole villager thing. I just got the achievement the other day. But we start off with the usual. We're going to need a crafting table. 3 pieces of glass become 3 bottles. We're going to need a brewing stand. And the way you get a brewing stand is you're going to have a blaze rod. So this is not like a very, very beginner's type project, but because you have to go to the nether and get a blaze rod. But, you know, pretty much everybody that's played Minecraft for a couple of days should be able to do this. So you get your brewing stand, set it up, and then we're going to make what's called a potion of weakness. And so the recipe for a potion of weakness is right here. We've got a spider eye with sugar and a brown mushroom becomes a fermented spider's eye. And then we're going to brew that with a bottle of water, and then we're going to add gunpowder so that it's a splash potion. And we're going to add some redstone so that it's the higher level one. Let me see if I can show you. So this is a 3-minute potion of weakness. And that's what we get right here. Okay. And then the other ingredient that we need is a golden apple. And a golden apple is an apple surrounded by 8 gold bars on your crafting table. And that gives you the golden apple. And the golden apple is what's going to turn him back into a villager. So what I did on my world was we had a zombie spawner. So I built a tunnel, and I captured zombies in it until I got a villager zombie. It has to be a villager zombie. And once I had a villager zombie, I pushed him into a special room because you don't want him to be where other zombies can get at him. And also the other trick is, so I used water, and the other trick is not only do you want him to be away from other zombies, but of course the sunlight would kill him. So we don't want to do that. So I just, So just break the dirt to let him through. And then this is our special chamber where we're going to change him into a villager. So what I did was I just blocked the water so that he wasn't getting pushed into the blocks. And now you can see him. So we're going to try to get all of this potion on him, but we're going to get some on us, but it won't hurt us too bad, even if we're in survival. Hit him with the potion. And now look at him, and you can see the bubbles on him, right? So that means that he was hit with the potion. And of course, in survival, the potion would have disappeared from my hand because I threw it. And then we're going to give him the golden apple. Okay. And so it would have gone into him. And now he is very slowly turning into a villager. And once he would turn into a villager, then I would break this block, and the water would push him into the holding pen that I made. And so for the holding pen, first I made a 5x5 platform on the ground, and then I surrounded that with a 2-block tall wall. And mine's up on top of a mountain too, because I wanted it up away from make sure it's away from zombies, because if one zombie gets into your villager's breeder, you're going to lose all of your villagers. That zombie will either eat them, kill them, beat them to death, basically. And then what I did was I went ahead and I put a level of glass on top then. And that keeps anything from spawning on top of this edge here that might interfere with our villager breeding. And then the other thing you can do is you can put, like if you have glowstone, you can use glowstone, or you could use a jack-o'-lantern as a light source. And so now the inside of this cell is going to be brightly lit at all times. And that's important because we don't want anything else to spawn in there. Now, this is the cell where the villagers are going to be. And that's pretty cool. But the other thing is we're going to have a village. And you have to make sure, like, there's not one on this world, I don't think, but you have to make sure you're like 100 and something blocks away. On my world, I'm basically almost 300 blocks away from my village. Because if there's two villages too close to each other, then that interferes with the breeding process. So let's see, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now we're 7 blocks in the air. And here at level 7, we're going to start building our village. And you know, Minecraft has a lot of rules, and the rule for a village is just this: it has to have doors. And let's see if I can do this. I'm not going to fall off, obviously. It has to have doors, and in order for this to work, there has to be a villager in it. And I'll tell you right now, my original plan was to have a railroad do this. And what I would do is I would have a railroad that would basically go into the middle of my little village here. This platform is going to be the village. And the minecart would have a villager on it. And when the villager is here, then the villagers below will breed. And you can see that over there. There's a villager in there. And as long as he's in there, those villagers down there are going to keep breeding. So in order to turn it off, you would push a button. And then that would push the minecart over to here. Or, you know, farther away even. And by having the minecart over here, then the village would turn off. The breeding would stop. But this seems like a really good idea. And actually I got that idea from Doc M. He does a lot of videos about PC Minecraft. Doc M77. And, but on the Xbox One, anyway, it doesn't work. For some reason, the minecart despawned, and my villager who was in it, when I had saved the game, when I came back to the game, he suddenly was just standing here, and he went derp, 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 stepped off, fell down the mountain, and was killed by zombies. And then I was blown up by a creeper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a holding cell. So it's going to be 2 blocks tall. And then these walls are important on the PC, the blocks at the top. On the Xbox One, I found that they're not important yet, but I'm sure they will be. On the PC, you have to put the doors on the sides here, and there have to be at least 6 doors. So this would work, and this becomes a village. But because it's not symmetrical, then that bothers me, so I went ahead and put the extra 2 on there. It has to be at least 6, though. So this is technically a village, and these blocks on top here are necessary on the PC. They're not necessary on the Xbox One right now, but as they update the Xbox One, you know, one of these days I'm sure they will be necessary. So therefore, I don't see a point in not putting them on, because when they're necessary, then we'll wish we had them, right? So we would put our villager in here using a railroad, that temporary railroad. And now we have basically our village with 1 villager in it. And if we put more villagers down here, then they look up. This is the way it was explained to me in a video by Doc M. But they look up, pardon me, they look up and they see a village with 1 villager in it. And there's extra doors. So this village has room for another villager because there's extra doors. So therefore, they breed and they make another villager. Okay? And look, this guy's changed, and you can tell he's changed because now the zombie wants to eat him. Villagers love to eat, or zombies love to eat villagers. Oh, and he's a farmer. That is a terrible trade. How dare you? That was terrible. Anyway, that's how I got my villagers. And like that villager would have been perfect to put up here because he's not a good trade and you're not going to come up here. This guy also has a bad offer, so this guy also is a good choice for up here. And we would put our good villagers down here. And so if we leave these guys alone, they'll start talking to each other. And then eventually they would start trying to mate and make more villagers. Now we have a problem though, because this is a village now with a villager in it, and that's a village. So this one can't be this close to that one and be functional, because it would screw up this breeding process here. Okay, that's why, you know, you would not build two of these this close. I'm just doing this to show you how it works. So now we have a village above us, and we have a breeding cell. Now, there's one problem with villagers, is if you watch them walk around, they bump into each other, and they will push each other into the wall. And if they get pushed into the wall enough, they will suffocate. See how they punch into each other and stuff? So if they got pushed into this wall, they would suffocate. So therefore, up here at head height in the top half, I go ahead and I put these fence rails. So now basically I have a 3x3 cell here where the villagers can walk around and breed underneath the village. And this is pretty good. So now we're good to go, right? We have a villager breeding system. And I would let this run for quite a while until I got, say, this many villagers in there. Because I'm going to start off with, I only want to use 3 golden apples because golden apples are so expensive. So I would start off with 2 on the bottom here and then put the 1 guy up top. So what you do is, once you have enough villagers in there, and you can do this from the outside edges, you would mine in, and you would take out this side and this side. And then on this side here, in the middle, you would punch out a block there. And this is going to be our collection thing. Okay. And this side we want to be too deep. And the reason we do it this way is because now if we place 1 block of water over here, that water is going to go all the way around, and it's going to stop right here, right? So any baby villagers are only 1 block tall. So the adult villagers, you know, they're stuck. They bounce around, they stuck, they meet each other, they have drinks, they have a baby. The baby wanders around, and then eventually the baby falls off into the water. And the water carries them over to here. And then here we put another source block of water. And now we would cover this with, let's say, glass. And you would want to have source blocks for lighting in here. Actually, on the other one, I did them on as the bottom of the trench. And that's it. Now we've got a way to capture the baby villagers.